The night Alex left me, he didn't even try to hide the truth. "I need more, Catherine," he said, standing by the door like he was already halfway gone. "I can't build a future on this. A tiny apartment, late-night takeout, my 2 jobs, his dreams that never quite paid off." I stared at him, waiting for the real reason, and then it came cold, sharp, and unforgettable. "She understands my ambitions," he added. "Her family has connections, money." There it was, not love, not timing, not finding himself. "Money, so you're leaving me for her?" I asked, my voice steadier than I felt. Alex didn't flinch. "I'm choosing a better life." That sentence didn't just break my heart, it rewired something inside me. I didn't cry, not in front of him. Not even after the door slammed shut and his footsteps faded away. Instead, I sat there in silence, replaying every moment I had supported him, every bill I had helped cover, every time I believed in him when he had nothing. And just like that, something shifted. I wasn't going to beg. I wasn't going to chase. I was going to win. The next morning, I woke up with a plan. No dramatic speeches, no revenge texts, just action. I quit one of my jobs and doubled down on the one that mattered, the small, struggling startup I'd been working at for 2 years. The one Alex used to call a dead end. I stayed late. I learned everything. Finance, strategy, clients, you name it. While everyone else clocked out, I stayed in. Months passed, then a year. The company started growing. Slowly at first, then all at once. And me, I wasn't the same Catherine anymore. I wasn't the girl he left behind in that apartment. I became someone sharper, smarter, untouchable. 2 years later, I walked into a high-rise office building in downtown Manhattan, not as an employee, but as the new owner. As I stepped into my glass-walled office, my assistant handed me a file. "New hires starting today." I flipped it open casually, and then I froze. Alex Carter. Position, junior analyst. I smiled slowly, leaning back in my chair. "Send him in," I said, because the man who left me for money was about to find out who he was really working for. The moment the door opened, I didn't look up. "Come in," I said calmly, flipping through his file like it was just another name on a long list. But I felt it, the hesitation in his steps, the pause, the quiet shift in the air. "Have a seat, Alex." Silence. Then the chair creaked as he sat down. Still, I didn't look at him, not yet. "I see you've had an interesting career path," I continued, my tone cool, professional. "A few short-term roles, nothing long-term. Any reason for that?" His voice stumbled. "I was exploring better opportunities." I almost smiled. "Of course you were." Finally, I lifted my eyes, and there it was. Shock, pure, unmistakable shock. "Catherine," he said, like he wasn't sure if he was seeing a ghost or a memory. "In the flesh," I replied smoothly, "though I go by Miss Hayes here." He leaned back slightly, still processing. I didn't know you worked here." "Oh," I said, closing the file softly, "I don't work here." A beat. "I own it." That hit harder than anything else. I watched it land, the realization, the regret, the sudden awareness of every choice he had made. "You're the owner?" he asked, almost under his breath. "Yes." Silence filled the room again, heavier this time. Alex ran a hand through his hair, forcing a nervous chuckle. "Wow, that's impressive. You always were hardworking." There it was, the shift. The respect he never gave me before, but I didn't react. "Let's stay focused," I said, sliding the file back onto the desk. "You've been hired as a junior analyst, entry level. You'll report to the team lead, not me." His expression tightened just slightly. "Of course," he said. I leaned forward, my voice calm but firm. "And Alex," he looked up, "we don't make decisions based on personal relationships here." A direct hit. His jaw clenched, but he nodded. "Understood." "Good," I said, standing up, signaling the meeting was over. "Then welcome to the company." As he got up to leave, I added one last thing. "Work hard. Around here, performance is everything." He paused at the door, like he wanted to say something more, maybe apologize, maybe explain. But I didn't give him the chance, because this wasn't about closure anymore. This was about control, and for the first time, I had all of it. Alex didn't last a week without trying. At first, it was subtle. A coincidental run-in near my office. A quick, "Hey, Catherine, Miss Hayes," I mean with that same half-smile he used to win me over years ago. I shut it down every time. Professional, distant, untouchable. But Alex wasn't used to being ignored. 2 weeks in, his team lead requested a performance review. I skimmed the report in my office, expression unreadable. Smart, she said, but distracted, missed 2 deadlines. Keeps asking about you. I nodded slowly. Fixable, I asked. Only if he focuses. I closed the file. I'll handle it. The next morning, I called him in again. This time, I didn't pretend it was just routine. Alex walked in more carefully now, less confident, less sure. Sit, I said. He did. I slid the report across the desk. Explain this. He glanced at it, then back at me. I've just been adjusting. It's a new environment? Stop, I cut in, my voice sharp enough to freeze him mid-sentence. This company doesn't pay people to adjust. It pays them to perform. His jaw tightened. I am performing. Barely. Silence. Then he exhaled, leaning forward slightly. Look, can we just be honest for a second? I didn't respond. I didn't expect to see you here, he continued. And yeah, maybe it threw me off. But Catherine, what we had, I interrupted, calm but cold, ended the moment you chose money over me. He flinched. I didn't just choose money, he said quickly. I chose opportunity. Stability. And how did that work out for you? I asked. That one landed. His silence said everything. For a moment, the room felt like the past again, like late nights and broken promises. But I wasn't that girl anymore. I stood up, walking around the desk slowly. You know what the difference is between you and me, Alex? I said. He looked up. I built something, I continued. You chased something. I stopped right in front of him. And now, a beat. You work for me. The words hung in the air, heavy, final. Alex swallowed, his confidence cracking just enough to show the truth underneath. Regret. Real, undeniable regret. Get back to work, I said, stepping away. And this time, earn your place. He stood up quietly, no arguments left. No charm, no excuses, just reality. And as the door closed behind him, I finally allowed myself a small, satisfied smile. Because this wasn't just revenge anymore. This was power. Alex changed after that meeting. No more accidental run-ins, no more attempts at small talk. He kept his head down, showed up early, stayed late, and for the first time, actually did the work. And I noticed, of course I did, I noticed the corrected reports, the improved numbers, the way his name slowly climbed up the performance charts, but I didn't say a word, because this wasn't about rewarding effort. It was about watching him realize what he lost. A month later, we had a major client presentation, million-dollar deal on the line, and somehow Alex ended up on the team. I saw his name on the list and paused. Interesting. I could have removed him. One email, one decision, but I didn't. Instead, I showed up to the conference room 10 minutes early, calm and composed as always. The team filed in one by one, then Alex. He froze for half a second when he saw me at the head of the table, right where I belonged. Morning, I said, like it was just another day. Morning, Miss Hayes, he replied carefully. Good, he was learning. The presentation started smoothly. Slides, numbers, strategy, everything was going perfectly until it wasn't. Halfway through, one of the senior analysts stumbled on a key projection. The client caught it immediately. Tension filled the room. Silence, then I've got it. All eyes turned. Alex. He stood up, walked to the screen, and without hesitation broke down the correct numbers, confident, sharp, clear, no stuttering, no guessing, just precision. I watched him closely. This wasn't the same man who left me. This was someone better, more focused, more disciplined, too late. The client nodded, impressed. The tension dissolved, meeting saved, deal secured. As everyone packed up, the room buzzed with quiet excitement. Alex gathered his things, ready to leave. Stay, I said. The room emptied, leaving just the two of us again, just like before, but completely different. That was good, I said, crossing my arms. He blinked, surprised. Thank you. A pause. Then he looked at me, not like an employee this time, but like someone searching for something he lost. I messed up, he said quietly. I didn't respond. I thought money was everything, he continued. I thought success meant choosing the easy way up. Still silence. Then I was wrong about you. That almost made me laugh. Almost. I stepped closer, my expression unreadable. No, Alex, I said softly. You were wrong about yourself. He frowned slightly. You had potential, I continued, but you took shortcuts. And shortcuts always cost more in the end. He looked down, the weight of that truth settling in. "And now?" he asked. I held his gaze. "Now," I said calmly, "you earn everything the hard way." A beat. Just like I did. Things changed after that. Not between us, no, that chapter was long closed, but around us. Alex became one of the top performers in the company. Quiet, focused, consistent. The kind of employee every team lead wanted. And still, he never crossed the line again. No personal conversations, no apologies repeated, not any try to go back to what we were. It was almost like he understood, some doors don't reopen. 3 months later, I made a decision. His name sat at the top of the promotion list. Senior analyst. Earned, fully deserved. I signed the approval without hesitation. Not because of our past, but because of his present. When I called him into my office this time, he walked in steady. No nerves, no hesitation. "Have a seat," I said. He did. I slid the letter across the desk. He read it once. Then again. "You're promoting me?" he asked, clearly surprised. "Yes." He looked up. "Why?" A small pause. "Because you earned it," I said simply. That answer hit him differently. Not emotional, not personal, just truth. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then he nodded slowly. "Thank you, Miss Hayes." No Catherine, no past, just respect. Exactly where things belonged. As he stood to leave, he paused at the door. "I used to think winning meant having more money," he said quietly. I didn't interrupt. "But now I get it," he added. "It's about becoming someone you can respect." I leaned back slightly, watching him. "And did you?" I asked. He gave a small, honest nod. "I'm getting there." Good answer. After he left, I sat in silence for a moment, staring out at the city skyline. 2 years ago, I lost everything I thought mattered. Him, the relationship, the future I had imagined. But looking back now, I didn't lose. I leveled up. Because the truth is, revenge isn't always loud. It isn't always destructive. Sometimes it's growth, it's success. It's becoming so far beyond who you used to be that the people who once underestimated you have no choice but to stand in front of you and call you boss.